Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. So today I want to do a video on a makeup starter kit, a drugstore makeup starter kit. I've had so many of my subscribers message me, asking what foundation I would recommend or a primer because they're just starting to get into makeup. And so this video is for you guys today, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to try not to stay on one product and go too in depth with it, because I do try to give you guys a couple of different options from the drugstore. So I hope you guys like this video, and if you're new and you're just tuning in, please subscribe to my channel so you can become part of our YouTube family. We would love to have you. So let's just go ahead and jump on into the video, guys. To start off with is primer. And to moisturize, let's start with that, to moisturize. Always be sure before you do your makeup, you're going to wash your face, moisturize, and then after your moisturizer has sit about 5-10 minutes or so, then we're going to move on to primer. So I'm trying to look at all the categories in each thing that I'm doing, like for my oily skin girls, my dry skin, maybe my big pores. So I'm trying to hit each category for you guys. So let's just start off with a basic face primer. And this is the Wet n Wild Coverall Primer. This is a cheap foundation primer, maybe $2-3 at Walmart, and it really does the job. This is one of my everyday go-to primers, so I would definitely recommend this. And then for my oily skin girls, maybe, and with oily skin, maybe you just get oily in your T-zone or, on your cheeks, wherever you get oily, that's where you put a mattifying primer. If you don't get oily all over the face, then don't put this all over the face. Go back in with like the Wet n Wild primer, and put this on the spots that you don't get oily, and then this one on where you do get oily. And this is the Rimmel Stay Matte primer. And then for my girls that need a pore filler, I wanted to mention these two. This is the Baby Skin Instant Pore by Maybelline, and then the NYX Pore Filler. This one is a little more expensive, and I have just started experimenting with this one, and I love it. It's not as silicone-y as the Baby Skin is. So either one of these are great for pores. And then for my dry skin girls that like that luminous glow, this is the Loreal Magic Lumi. I love this. I think this is a dupe for like the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I love this. It gives a sheen to your face, so when you go in with your foundation, you're going to have that luminous glow all day. So I would definitely recommend this one. And for foundations, you just want a regular, foundation. No particular, not too thick, not full coverage, maybe medium coverage. I would recommend the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. For those that might want a little more full coverage but matte, then the Maybelline Matte and Poreless is wonderful. I love this foundation. It's kind of like a satin matte, and they do have two different types of these. Like this one is normal to oily skin, and love this one. And those that like more of a luminous foundation, the L'Oreal True Match Lumi is definitely a holy grail in my collection. And then maybe I have some subscribers that just, you want a coverage, but you don't want to wear a foundation. Then I would recommend the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream. This is a BB cream, but it does have high to medium coverage. I really enjoy this, and it's not heavy. It's very thin, weightless on the face. But if you want a BB cream, but you don't really want a lot of like the foundation look or to know that you're wearing makeup, then the Garnier BB Cream Skin Renewal Miracle Skin Perfector is wonderful for that. And so then color correcting. If you need to do color correcting, maybe you have a couple red spots on your face, dark circles, you've got dullness. The Wet n Wild Cushion color correctors are wonderful for that. These are new. They haven't been out but a couple months, and I would definitely recommend these as a starter up color corrector. And then for concealer, the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous. This is about a medium coverage, and it's very weightless, easy to blend through. this is a wonderful concealer. But if you want a concealer, like maybe you don't have dark circles to cover up, you just kind of want it to brighten the area of your face, then the L'Oreal Magic Lumi is wonderful. This is like a, it's the twist up type that has the brush on it that you sweep. This is a really good concealer for brightening. And too, I forgot to mention this, to apply your foundation, you know, you're either going to use a wet sponge or a brush. I have very few foundations that I apply with a brush. I apply most of mine with a wet sponge. This one is Real Techniques. This one isn't wet, but all you want to do is dampen it and then squeeze the water out of it really good before you go in to apply your foundation. And honestly, I use a beauty sponge almost every day for my makeup. And for eyelid primers is the Maybelline Master Prime. There's a couple different ones of this. I have the one that's more matte. They do make one that is kind of more shimmery on the lid, but I have the matte one, and it is a doe foot applicator to apply it. And to set my eyelid primer, I like to use a kind of a different powder instead of my regular face powder. I like the Wet n Wild Creme Brulee or the Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana. Now, this is supposed to be a bronzer, but as you guys can see, this is not, you know, very light. I'm not sure who this would be a bronzer on. Some people do use this as a highlight because it does have a slight sheen to it. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. No. But I like to put this on my eyes for those days that I'm doing the simple look. And because it has the sheen in it, if I just go in with like my bronzer as a crease color, then I still have that subtle sheen, you know, that sparkle on the top of my eye and on my eyelids. So that's perfect. For under eye setting powder, I would recommend the E.L.F. High Definition. This is a wonderful under eye setting powder, and I think it's like $3. And then for a loose powder to set all over your face, I would recommend the NYC Smooth Skin. This is a wonderful loose powder. This is one of my drugstore Holy Grail powders. And maybe you want more of a matte powder to, you know, set your foundation in, then the Wet n Wild Photo Focus is a wonderful powder. This powder to me is more like the MAC powder. It leaves your face flawless. Like, it doesn't even look like you have powder on your face. And then maybe for my oily skin girls that need a mattifying powder, I would recommend the Rimmel Stay Matte. And, you know, just apply it with a big fluffy brush, you know, all over your face. And so next, contouring. I have a couple of these palettes. Like I said, I wanted to give you guys some options. That way you wasn't stuck with like one particular contour color or one particular bronzer color. That way you could have options and switch it up. But these two right here from Wet n Wild, these are the contour palettes. These are wonderful to set your under eyes with the lighter shade, and then you can bronze or contour with the darker shades. But as a palette, you know, choice, I would recommend the E.L.F. ones. With the E.L.F. ones, this is the contour one. It kind of gives you a highlight and then like maybe an under eye matte setting powder, your contour, and then your bronzer. And then they also come out with this one. This one is new, and this one has two blushes, a highlight, and a contour shade. So that'll kind of give you a couple options. For bronzer, I love the Ticket to Brazil by Wet n Wild. This has been a staple in my collection for a long time. You know, I wore this back in high school. I love this bronzer. And then a palette to get a couple choices is the E.L.F. one, and it gives you two matte ones and then two shimmer ones. And the thing that I like about these E.L.F. palettes is these pop out. These little, let's see if I can show you. These pop out, you know, of the palette. And so, you know, if you get maybe the blush one or maybe the highlighting one, with these you can create your own palette, which would be perfect when you traveled. And let's move on to some blush. For a blush palette, to get a couple options, the E.L.F. one. This one is in the shade light. I think they also have maybe a dark, but once again, these pop out, and you can interchange them to make your own palette. Or I would recommend the CoverGirl True Blend blush. These blushes are very they're not matte by any means. They give your face that beautiful glow on the cheeks, and I would highly recommend them. And for highlights, just for a regular highlight, the Hard Candy Tiki is a gorgeous highlight. You can get, that, let's see if you guys can see it right there, that beautiful everyday glow within, or you can build it up to a very intense glow. Put you some setting spray on your face or wet your brush and go in with that highlight, and your highlight's going to be gorgeous. And then this one is by E.L.F. and I think they're all 4 shimmers. This one might be more of like a blush topper on fairer skin, but the 3 of these would look beautiful almost on all skin types. Maybe this one would be like a blush topper. This one right here would even be a gorgeous inner corner highlight or brow bone highlight. And for eyeshadow palettes, the CoverGirl True Naked eyeshadow palettes are wonderful. I have golden and nudes. At the drugstore, it's hard for me to actually find eyeshadows that I like, but these are good quality, as in mattes. The mattes do blend out good, but I have learned with the shimmers, I have to full them. And by full them, I mean I have to go in with a setting spray, and wet my brush before I apply them, just to get the sheen on my eye that I like, that I would desire. And the Wet n Wild All Natural palettes. These palettes are phenomenal. I mean, you can tell in this one, I have hit pan here on this color. This is the perfect transition shade if you're going to do more of maybe like a plum, burgundy type look. And this one is more of like a browns, but this one has more mattes, and this one has more shimmers. But I would recommend both of these palettes. They are wonderful drugstore options. Wet n Wild makes some really good eyeshadows. I have several palettes of theirs. The Comfort Zone is a really good palette, but it is all shimmer. It doesn't have any mattes in it, so when I use that palette, I have to pull another, a shade in for a good matte transition shade. Then for eyeliner, for those of you that like a stick, just a retractable, I would recommend the Wet n Wild Megalast one. For those that like more of a, a fine tip pen, then this one is a little more pricier, but this is actually the only one from the drugstore that I like. I'm gonna have a haul video coming up soon, and I bought one of the new Loreal Infallible. I'm gonna try that out to see if I like it, because like I said, this one is a little more pricey. I think this is like $10, but this is a great dupe for the Kat Von D tattoo liner. This is great dupe. And then for a gel liner, the Maybelline New York Eye Studio in Blackest Black. This is the best gel liner. I mean, look at that. You guys can see that it is very, very well loved. This is the, as in all around, drugstore, high-end, this is the best gel eyeliner that I have ever found that is actually a true black and stays matte. And then for mascara, the CoverGirl Supersizer. This is a great mascara. I've not been using this long. This is a newer mascara in my collection, but I have fallen in love with it. The wand has really, taken me some time to get used to. I don't know if you guys can be able to see it there. So, it is a little harder when I go in to do it, because it's not perfectly round, but I have learned to use it, and I really do enjoy this mascara for my top lashes. For my bottom lashes, I would recommend the CoverGirl Clump Crusher. This is a great bottom lash mascara. I don't have a lot of bottom lashes, and this really shows through. I put it on, and it makes them fuller. They look longer, so I would definitely recommend this. And then once you've applied all your makeup, and you're ready to set everything in, I would recommend the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Setting Spray or the E.L.F. Make It Miss Setting Spray. Both of these are wonderful. You know, the Wet n Wild is, you know, one of my holy grail ones. And the E.L.F. one is good, but I just felt that the Wet n Wild does make my makeup last longer than the E.L.F. one. But the E.L.F. one is really good, you know, to make all the powder products blend into your skin, to look like skin, to get that powdery look off of your face. So I would recommend either of those. And that's, oh, I want to mention these brushes. For eyeshadow brushes, I've had a lot of questions about it. Wet n Wild makes some great eyeshadow brushes, and they're $1. You know, these right here are 2 crease brushes. This one is smaller, if you guys can see, and then a bigger fluffy one. I love these. These are really good brushes. Although they're $1, they perform like high quality brushes. And then, you know, this one is a smudger. You can smudge your shadow up under. And then the eyeliner one. And this one is to put your shadow all over the lid, you know, on it, or even your brow bone. And this brush I use as a concealer brush. Like if I have a concealer that I need to spread out before I go in with my Dampen Real Technique sponge to blend it out, then I'll just take this brush and put that concealer where I want it and blend it down. And also E.L.F. E.L.F. makes some wonderful brushes too. This brush, this one says it's the Flawless Concealer Brush. I like to use this brush to set my under eyes, like whether I'm using the E.L.F. under eye setting powder, or maybe I'm going to go in with this lighter shade to brighten my under eye. This brush is perfect to do that. And then for eyeshadow brushes, this one to pack on the color, you know, on the lid. And these 2 right here are good, precise blending brushes. I don't think E.L.F. makes a really good, like, all over the shade blending brush like Wet n Wild does. You guys can see the difference there, the fluffiness. This one is great to blend it, you know, all the way up. These 2 are really good to get into your crease, to, you know, in that V, to do detail work. Then these 2 are phenomenal. And then also they make this angled one, which is really good maybe if you're going to do a cat eye look, to put the wing, you know, on the outside to shape it. That one's good. And also they come this spooler by Wet n Wild. I absolutely love this spooler brush. Now it does come straight, you know, it comes like this. I just bend mine over to do my eyebrows, but you know, my eyebrows aren't perfect. You know, I don't like to paint them on to look like a Sharpie, and that is something I forgot to mention, guys, is your eyebrow product. Just a second. Let me grab mine out right here. I'm glad that I mentioned that. I totally forgot. Okay. E.L.F. makes a wonderful eyebrow pencil, and it even has a spoolie. Now, I don't really like this spoolie, but, I mean, it does come with one. And the pencil, back to my eyebrows. I plucked them when I was in high school and waxed them way too much that now, you know, they won't grow out. And so I just kind of basically, I take this powder every day, the Loreal Brow Stylist, and I just fill in, you know, the areas that are bald. I don't like my eyebrows to look like they're painted on with a Sharpie. So, you know, I don't do a lot with my eyebrows. I like them to look as natural as possible. But also, as for a pencil, is the Brow Stylist by Loreal. This is a wonderful one also, and it has a spoolie on it as well. I like this spoolie a lot better than the one by E.L.F. You can see the difference. The E.L.F. one is a lot fatter, and the Loreal one is more thinner. I like the Loreal one a lot better. And then for a brow gel to set your to set your brows in place, the Brow Stylist Plumper by Loreal is great. This is a staple every day. I use it. It has a really small wand on it, a mascara wand, and you just brush it up in your eyebrows and it seals them in, you know, and they won't move all day. They're set. So that's it, guys. That's all. I hope that in this video that maybe I've, you know, recommended something to you guys that will help you get started in makeup, and, you know, just experiment. That way you can move up. You know, I did try to recommend the cheapest things in my collection because I do know makeup can be very expensive. But I hope you guys have learned something from this video today, and like I said, maybe there's a couple products in here I mentioned that you guys can get and try out. If you do, then let me know down in the comments that you've bought them. Let me know your thoughts on them. If you've tried any of these products, let me know your thoughts on them. And that's it, guys. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, bye guys.